get back to this, shall we? So, the $1 trillion defense budget. Basically saying we're going to have a record-breaking defense budget, which is pretty telling, in my opinion, of what we see brewing in the world today, but also what we see that the scripture tells us is going to happen in the future as well. It says, we essentially approved a budget, which is in the vicinity, you'll like to hear this, of $1 trillion, Trump said while meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. $1 trillion, and nobody's seen anything like it. We have to build our military, and we have to be very cost conscious. But the military is something that we have to build, and we have to be strong because a lot of bad forces out there now. It's interesting because they're actually cutting soldiers from the military, but yet we're adding more money into the defense budget. So all the billions reduced from Doge are now getting folded into a $1 trillion budget for the military industrial complex, which, again, I've heard that he wants to build up a giant AI and drone military. And who better to do it than who he's teamed up with, like Endural and Palantir and whatnot. So the money is probably going to start going into those arms of the military as well. So we're going to be approving a budget, and I'm proud to say actually the biggest one we've ever done for the military. Afterwards, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth seemed to confirm Trump was referring to the fiscal year of 2026 request, saying on Twitter, coming soon, the first $1 trillion Department of Defense budget. Exactly when the 26 budget will drop or what shape it will take remains unclear. There will be a talk of a skinny budget with few details coming first and rumors that May is when budgets have officially released, but nothing confirmed by the White House or Pentagon. In a note to investors, TD Cowen analyst Roman Schweizer wrote that based on the last year's Green Book, we assume this means a $50 billion increase for the 050 national defense, which was projected at $951 billion for the fiscal year of 2026. We jump over to this one. This is Military Times. As Trump promises $1 trillion in defense spending for next year. President Donald Trump this week unveiled plans for $1 trillion defense budget next year, massive increase that he claimed will provide the country with unmatched military strength for years to come. During a press event with Netanyahu on Monday, Trump offered the outline for total defense spending the fiscal year of 2026 budget, part of his larger plan for U.S. national security. We're going to be improving the budget, proud to say, about $1 trillion. Let's see if we jump down. $1 trillion defense budget would represent an increase of 12% from the current fiscal year spending levels. Trump indicated that at least some of the new spending would come from savings found by cuts ordered by Doge, although he did not specify any accounts. Again, that money's not just found money like a lot of people think. It's going to be folded and rolled into the plan, the plan that they've had going, this globalist plan, this dictatorship plan that they've had going on. And so they take the money from other departments, fire a whole bunch of people, install AI to take over, and then shoot that money back over to military industrial complex. The very same thing that got us in debt to begin with. Imagine that. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth praised the news. We just went over that. Hegseth said that despite the significant increase, all taxpayer money for this department will be spent wisely on lethality and readiness. White House officials are expected to reveal their full budget plan for 2026, which begins on October 1st, later this spring. Interesting timing. Republicans in Congress have pushed for years for boosts in defense spending to counter growing overseas threats and operational demands. Again, we know that massive war is coming. We've been seeing the buildup and the push up for it. But they have also called for cuts in overall government spending to balance the federal budget for tax relief for some Americans. Increasing defense spending will complicate those calculations and likely add to the federal deficit unless sharp cuts are made to non-defense programs. Now, this is interesting here. It says, even with the increase, an American military budget of $1 trillion still would not match Trump's stated goal of all NATO countries spending 5% of their domestic gross domestic product, GDP, on defense. That's something that he came out and said, that all NATO countries need to spend at least 5% of their GDP on defense. Meanwhile, we're getting a massive boost, but it's still not what he wants us to match. Very interesting. We know war is coming. We know it's coming. We're seeing major preparations for it. We also know this AI infrastructure and drone robotics system that he's been touting for a very long time, which he helped get ready back in 2018. And it's still on track. It's still on track to happen. If you guys want to see it, this is the video from that same thing where he announced it. So let's take a look.
We have great things happening with our military. We also essentially approved a budget, which is in the facility, you'll like to hear this, of $1 trillion, $1 trillion, and nobody's seen anything like it. We have to build our military, and we're very cost conscious, but the military is something that we have to build, and we have to be strong because you got a lot of bad forces out there now. So we're going to be approving a budget, and I'm proud to say, actually, the biggest one we've ever done for the military.
So yeah, straight from the horse's mouth. That's the goal that they plan on doing. At least $1 trillion in defense. Crazy, man, because I remember before all of this, wasn't he the one that, I mean, I never heard him say it from his own mouth. I always heard it from people who were in favor of Trump, that he was anti-war and he wasn't connected to the military-industrial complex, and he wanted to make sure that we weren't spending all this type of money on military things and whatnot, and he wasn't going to start any wars or anything like that. But all of that seems to be out the window. All of that seems to be out the window because none of that was touted that he was fits in with what we're seeing today in the timeline that we're currently on. Promises made, promises kept, right? I'm not seeing that. I haven't seen that at all, even though I keep hearing that. Now, coming along with it, I just wanted to throw this in because I think this is revealing. I'll just say it that way. I think it's revealing. Donald Trump planning a U.S. military parade. What we know. A U.S. military parade. I only know one type of leader that usually throws military parades. Just saying. U.S. President Donald Trump is planning a military parade through Washington, D.C. that will coincide with his birthday this summer, according to a City News report. It's claimed that the event marks the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army on June 14th, which also happens to be the date of Trump's 79th birthday. Arlington County Board Chair Takis Karantonis told the Washington City paper that Trump's administration is planning a 4-mile-long military parade through the Capitol. The outlet reported this weekend. Nothing has yet been officially or organized officially, but the board has given a heads up on Friday about the event. Newsweek has reached out to email Karantonis and also emailed the White House seeking confirmation, further information, and comment. The emails were sent outside of usual working hours. Immediate response. It would not be the first time Trump has tried. Now, this is key, too, because he tried this once before. It would not be the first time that Trump has tried to launch a large-scale military parade, but his previous attempts have sparked unease or even outright controversy. Some critics compared the president's ambitions to the bloated military spectacles seen in dictatorships, such as the parade of Kim Jong-un in North Korea. Other criticisms leveled at the president over his plans included the astronomical cost to taxpayers of hosting such event and the damage likely to be caused to city roads by heavy military vehicles like tanks. Trump has previously said it would be good to top other countries' military possessions. His hope for a massive military parade were thwarted during his first presidency, but it appears to be determined to try again now that he's the second term of the White House. If we jump down, during his first presidency back in 2018, he hoped to have tanks rolling down Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C., while vintage aircraft and modern jets flew overhead. He tried to organize the Independence Day event after being impressed with military-led Marc Bastille Day in Paris during his visit to France there. And it later emerged that military parade would cost $92 million. $80 million more than first predicted. That seems like cost-cutting and efficiency to me, right? Now, I want to pull this out. This is back from 2018, and this was when he was on doing an interview for Fox and Friends on the White House front lawn, 2018. I want you guys to hear what is being said. This is a view from behind. I want you guys to hear what's being said. Check this out.
Are we close to seeing Mr. Kim here at the White House?
Could happen. I mean,
They talked about that yesterday
I would
with
have
Mike
him.
Pompeo?
Yeah, I think it's something that could happen. Yeah. Hey, he's the head of a country, and I mean, he is the strong head. Don't let anyone think anything different.
Right.
He speaks, and his people sit up at attention. I want my people to do the
Right.
same.
Well,
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? Let's hear it.
He's the head of a country, and I mean, he is the strong head. Don't let anyone think anything different.
Right.
He speaks, and his people sit up at attention. I want my people to do the
right.
same.
Well,
He wants to be Kim Jong-un. He's praising Kim Jong-un and the fact that his people are afraid of him and stand at attention whenever he speaks. That is a dictator. That is a dictator. I've had that video for years. I just haven't had any opportunity to play it. Got one now. If he is planning on doing this military parade, because that's what dictators do. That's what dictators do. I don't know what else to say regarding him, man. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.